Welcome to the world of science fiction where extraordinary tales come to life. Enjoy the journey. Liam Carter wiped grease off his hands, sighing as another day ended at Detroit's auto shop. The city's skyline shimmered under a rare clear sky, until a shadow swallowed the sun. A deafening hum shook the ground as a Vexari dropship, sleek and obsidian black, descended like a nightmare. Before Liam could run, a beam of light yanked him off his feet. The next thing he knew, he was sprawled on a cold, metallic floor, staring up at a 7-foot-tall alien with iridescent scales and piercing violet eyes. Queen Silria tilted her head, her voice a melodic chime. "You are the one they call Fixer. Our machines obey you. You will save us." Liam's laugh was shaky. "Lady, I repair Hondas, not whatever this is." He gestured at the gargantuan Dyson sphere visible through a panoramic window, its once golden energy veins now flickering like dying embers. Silria's grip tightened on her staff. "Your primitive hands built tools from scrap. We need that instinct." Behind her, Commander Droth snarled, his armored tail lashing. "This human is a waste. Let the sphere die with dignity." Liam's stomach dropped as Silria leaned closer. "Fix it, or your world burns next." Liam Carter stood in the heart of the Vexari's dying Dyson sphere, surrounded by towering machines he couldn't even begin to understand. The air hummed with unstable energy, and the walls pulsed like a sickly heartbeat. Queen Silria watched him expectantly, her violet eyes unreadable. Commander Droth lingered nearby, his armored claws tapping impatiently. "Well?" Silria finally asked. "Can you fix it?" Liam ran a hand through his hair, exhaling sharply. "Lady, I don't even know what it is." He pointed at a massive reactor core, its surface cracked and leaking raw plasma. "You're telling me your entire civilization depends on this thing, and none of you know how it works?" Droth snarled. "We built it, human, but it was designed to last millennia. It should not be failing." Liam crouched near a flickering control panel, tracing the fractures in its surface. "Yeah, well, nothing lasts forever. Not even alien supertech." He pried open a maintenance hatch, something the Vexari engineers had clearly ignored, and recoiled at the sight inside. "Oh, you've got to be kidding me." Silria stepped closer. "What is it?" Liam pulled out a handful of burnt wiring and corroded connectors. "Your whole system's rotting from the inside. This isn't just wear and tear. Someone sabotaged this thing." A murmur rippled through the gathered Vexari. Droth's tail lashed. "Impossible. No one would dare." Liam raised an eyebrow. "Then explain why half these circuits look like they were chewed through." Silria's expression darkened. "If this is true, we have a traitor among us." Later, in a private chamber, Silria revealed the truth. "Our ancestors designed the sphere. We inherited it, maintained it, but we no longer understand it." She clenched her fists. "We have not invented anything in centuries. We only preserve." Liam whistled. "So you're like a civilization of museum curators." Silria's gaze burned. "And you humans, you build, break, rebuild. You adapt. That is why we need you." Droth burst in, his golden eyes blazing. "Enough of this. The human is stalling. He has no real answers." Liam crossed his arms. "I've got one answer. Your people are so used to things just working that you ignored the signs. If you'd caught this earlier, it'd be an easy fix. Now, it's gonna take a miracle." Silria's voice was deadly calm. "Then make one." With no other choice, Liam got to work. The Vexari watched in disbelief as he jury-rigged bypasses, rerouted power through unstable nodes, and even used duct tape, smuggled from Earth in his pockets, to patch leaking conduits. A junior engineer, Tvix, dared to assist. Unlike the others, he didn't sneer at Liam's methods. "Your people, you improvise," he said, fascinated. Liam grinned. "Yeah, well, when your paycheck depends on making crap work, you get creative." As the last connection sparked to life, the sphere's flickering lights stabilized, just for a moment. A cheer rose from the Vexari. Then the core screamed. Alarms blared as the entire structure shuddered. Drolf lunged at Liam. "You've killed us all." But Tivix shouted over the chaos. "No, the sabotage runs deeper. The human was right." Silria's voice cut through the panic. "Find the traitor. Now." Cliffhanger ending. As the Vexari scrambled to contain the damage, Liam caught a glimpse of something in the shadows, a figure slipping away, clutching a device that pulsed with the same energy as the failing core. Someone had just tried to finish the job. The Dyson sphere groaned like a dying beast, its inner mechanisms shuddering under the strain of the latest failure. Liam stumbled back as another surge of unstable energy rippled through the chamber, casting eerie blue shadows across the faces of the panicked Vexari. Queen Silria's voice cut through the chaos, sharp as a blade. "Seal the core sector. Now." Vexari engineers scrambled to obey, their long fingers dancing over holographic controls. Commander Droth stood frozen, his golden eyes locked onto Liam with undisguised fury. "This is your doing, human. Your repairs triggered the collapse." Liam wiped sweat from his brow, his hands still tingling from the electrical feedback. "Yeah, because someone wanted it to fail the second I touched it." He pointed at the blackened wiring he'd pulled from the panel earlier. "This wasn't just neglect, it was a trap. And you've got a traitor who's really good at covering their tracks." Silria's gaze swept the room, lingering on each of her advisors. The tension was suffocating. Then, from the back of the group, a voice spoke up, soft but steady. "The human is right." All eyes turned to Tivix, the young engineer who had assisted Liam. His silver-scaled hands trembled slightly, but his voice didn't waver. "The damage patterns, they're deliberate. Someone has been sabotaging the sphere for months, maybe longer." Droth's tail lashed. "You dare accuse your own people?" "I'm accusing someone." Tivix shot back. "Or do you want the sphere to fail completely?" Silria raised a hand, silencing them both. "Enough. Liam, Tivix, find the source of the sabotage. Droth, secure the perimeter. No one leaves this sector until we have answers." Liam and Tivix worked through the night, tracing the sabotage through the sphere's labyrinthine systems. The deeper they dug, the clearer it became. This wasn't the work of a lone technician. The sabotage was too precise, too widespread. Whoever did this had high-level access. Tivix muttered, pulling up a security log. "They knew exactly where to hit us." Liam frowned at the data. "And they knew when to hit us, right when I started poking around." A chill ran down his spine. They were watching him. Then Tivix stiffened. "Liam, look at this." The screen displayed a series of energy spikes, each one timed perfectly with critical failures in the sphere. But what caught Liam's eye was the signature of the interference. "That's not Vexari tech," he breathed. "That's human." Tivix's eyes widened. "What? But how?" "Someone's using Earth-made dampeners to destabilize your systems." Liam's mind raced, which means either a human's involved, or someone's framing us. Before they could investigate further, the door hissed open. Droth strode in, flanked by armed guards. His expression was unreadable. "You've been summoned," he said coldly. "The Queen has found the traitor." Liam exchanged a glance with Tivix. Something wasn't right. The throne room was packed when they arrived. Silria stood at the center, her face a mask of icy fury. At her feet knelt a Vexari scientist, his wrists bound. "Gorvix has confessed," Silria announced. "He planted the devices that crippled the sphere." Liam's stomach dropped. "Wait, him." "But." Droth stepped forward. "He acted alone. The matter is settled." Liam stared at the so-called traitor. Gorvix's eyes were hollow, defeated, too defeated. "Bullshit," Liam snapped. "You're covering for someone." The room went deadly silent. Silria's gaze locked onto his. "Explain." Liam didn't get the chance. A deafening crack echoed through the hall as the far wall exploded. Smoke and debris filled the air as armored figures stormed in, not Vexari. Their armor was sleek, their weapons humming with unfamiliar energy. At their head stood a figure Liam recognized instantly. "Well, well," said the man, his voice dripping with smug malice. "Looks like I got here just in time." Liam's blood ran cold. It was Marcus Kane, the most wanted arms dealer on Earth. Cliffhanger. A human betrayal. Kane smirked, leveling a pulse rifle at Liam. "Miss me, kid." The pieces clicked together. The sabotage, the human tech. Kane had sold the Vexari out, and now Liam was standing right in his crosshairs. The throne room was chaos. Smoke curled from the shattered wall as Kane's mercenaries fanned out, weapons trained on the Vexari. Liam barely had time to process the betrayal before Droth lunged, claws flashing toward Kane's throat, only to be flung back by a pulse of energy from one of the armored soldiers. The commander hit the ground hard, his scales scorched. "Tusk. Jumpy, aren't they?" Kane adjusted his cufflinks, grinning as he stepped over Droth's prone form. "Relax, Your Majesty," he said to Syria, who stood rigid with fury. "I'm not here to conquer. I'm here to negotiate." Liam's fists clenched. "Negotiate what? You just blew up a wall." Kane ignored him, addressing Syria instead. "Your Dyson sphere's failing. Your people are panicking. And this mechanic," he jerked his chin at Liam, "thinks duct tape and prayers will fix it. But me, I've got the real solution." He tossed a small device onto the floor. It hummed to life, projecting the shimmering blueprint, a massive, unfamiliar reactor core. Sylria's eyes narrowed. "What is this?" "A replacement," Kane purred. "One my associates built using, let's call it borrowed Vexari schematics. Fully compatible. Fully functional. And yours. For a price." Liam's stomach twisted. "You sabotaged them just to sell them the fix. That's your play?" Kane's smile didn't waver. "Call it aggressive marketing." Sylria's voice was lethally calm. "You expect me to bargain with a thief who crippled my world. I expect you to be pragmatic," Kane countered. "Without this, your sphere collapses in weeks. With it, eternal power. All I want is a little tribute." His gaze slid to Liam. "And him." A beat of silence. Then Liam barked a laugh. "Yeah. No. Hard pass." Syria didn't even glance at him. "Why?" "Let's just say he's got a talent for ruining my plans." Kane's grin turned icy. "Hand him over, and the reactor's yours." "Refuse." He shrugged. "Well, I'll take him anyway, along with whatever's left of your empire." The mercenaries' weapons whined as they charged. Liam didn't think. He moved. Snatching a fallen pulse rifle from a stunned Vexari guard, he fired at Kane's feet, forcing him back. "Tvix. The core schematics. Can you fake a shutdown?" Tvix's fingers flew over a stolen holopad. "If I reroute the auxiliaries." "Do it." The lights flickered. Then, with a thunderous groan, the entire sphere stuttered. Alarms blared as the gravity plates wavered, sending Kane's men stumbling. "What the hell?" Kane snarled. Liam grinned. Aggressive counter-marketing. He vaulted over a toppled console, dodging gunfire as he sprinted toward Syria. "We need to get you out." She didn't budge. "This is my throne room. I do not flee." "Then fight." Liam shot back. "But do it smart. Kane's reactor's a scam. It'll fry your systems within a year." "But if we—" A plasma shot grazed his shoulder, burning through fabric. He hissed in pain. Sylria's eyes flashed. Then, with a sudden fluid motion, she moved. Her staff struck the ground, and a shockwave of violet energy erupted, hurling Kane's mercenaries back. "Enough," she declared. "Droth. Secure the human. Tvix. Purge the intruder's systems." Droth, still smoldering from Kane's attack, bared his fangs. "With pleasure." Kane, cornered but still smirking, raised his hands. Fine. You want to do this the hard way. He tapped his wrist. Come. Activate protocol null. The sphere screamed. Every screen in the room lit up with the same flashing glyph, a vexary symbol Liam didn't recognize, but the way Syria paled told him everything. You linked your virus to our life support, she whispered. Kane's laugh was jagged. Oops, guess you've got 12 hours to decide. Hand over the mechanic, or watch your people suffocate. The throne room erupted into bedlam. Cliffhanger. The clock ticks. As vexary medics rushed to stabilize failing systems, Liam gripped Tvix's arm. There's another way. But we'll need to do something stupid. Tvix swallowed. How stupid? Liam's grin was all teeth. We reboot the sphere. The control center was in shambles. Alarms wailed as the sphere's life support systems flickered, their energy draining under the weight of Kane's virus. Vexary technicians scrambled to stabilize the failing grids, but every override attempt only accelerated the collapse. Liam watched the countdown on the main display: -11 hours, 43 minutes, and clenched his fists. Rebooting the sphere isn't just stupid, Tvix muttered, his silver scales dull with exhaustion. It's suicide. The core hasn't been fully powered down in millennia. We don't even know if it can restart. Liam wiped grease from his forehead. Yeah, well, Kane's virus is eating through your systems like termites through wet cardboard. Unless you've got a better idea. Syria's voice cut through the tension. Do it. Droth whirled on her. You cannot be serious. If the reboot fails, then we die with dignity, she said coldly, rather than kneeling to a human parasite. Her violet eyes locked onto Liam. Can you do this? He exhaled sharply. Maybe, but I'll need full access to the core. And he hesitated. I need Kane's wrist. Come. That's where the kill switch signal's coming from. A slow predatory smile spread across Droth's face. Finally, a task worth my time. Kane's mercenaries had barricaded themselves in the sphere's comms hub, their weapons trained on every entrance. Liam crouched behind a shattered console, pulse rifle heavy in his hands. This would be easier if your people had, like, stealth tech, he whispered to Tvix. The engineer rolled his eyes. We had peace. Until today. A shadow moved. Droth, slithering along the ceiling like a scaled wraith. With a sudden lunge, he dropped into the midst of Kane's men, claws and tail whirling. Liam didn't wait. He sprinted through the chaos, dodging plasma fire as Tvix hacked the door seals behind them. Kane stood at the center of the room, wrist glowing. Took you long enough, he sneered. Liam didn't bother with banter. He lunged. The fight was brutal, messy, human fists against augmented armor, desperation against greed. Kane's punch sent Liam crashing into a terminal, sparks raining down. You're nothing, Kane spat, a wrench monkey playing hero. Liam's fingers closed around a severed cable. Yeah, but monkeys climb. He jammed the live wire into Kane's chest. The man convulsed, wrist shorting out in a shower of sparks. Liam ripped it free just as Droth's tail wrapped around Kane's throat. Shall I snap him? The commander rumbled. Tempting. Liam gasped. But we need him alive. His tech's the only thing that might reverse the virus. The core chamber was a cathedral of dying light. The sphere's heart, a swirling mass of plasma contained by forces Liam couldn't begin to understand, pulsed weakly. Tvix hooked Kane's wrist into the mainframe, fingers flying. I've isolated the virus, but the system's too damaged. The reboot has to be manual. Liam stared at the archaic control panel, levers, dials, things no human had touched in centuries. You're kidding. Syria stepped forward. I will do it. No. Liam grabbed her wrist. If this goes wrong, the energy surge'll fry whoever's at the controls. It's gotta be me. Her gaze burned into his. Why? He grinned, tired but fierce. Because I'm the only one here dumb enough to yank a cosmic fuse box. The chamber shook as he pulled the levers, one by one. The lights died. The hum of the sphere faded into silence. For one terrifying second, nothing happened. Then, a spark, a single golden flare at the core's center. It spread like wildfire, racing through the veins of the Dyson sphere, burning away the virus as it went. The systems roared back to life, panels blinking, engines thrumming. Outside the observation windows, the dying star at the sphere's heart flared, its light renewed. Tvix whooped. Droth actually smiled. And Syria looked at Liam like he'd hung the stars himself. Kane knelt in chains before the Vexari High Council, his smirk finally gone. "This isn't over," he hissed. "For you, it is," Syria said coldly. She turned to Liam. "As for you." He braced for the worst. Instead, she extended a hand. "The Galactic Alliance has need of minds like yours. If you're willing." Liam blinked. "Wait, you're offering me a job." "I'm offering humanity a place," she corrected. "Starting with you." Droth grunted. "Try not to break anything this time." Liam laughed, loud and bright in the gleaming hall. "No promises." As the twin suns of Vexari Prime rose beyond the restored sphere, their light glinted off something new in the sky. A single small ship, its hull stamped with Earth's coordinates. The first of many.